Good morning, Webinar Wonders. That's what I'm going to name you. I'm going to name you Webinar Wonders because you are wonderful, you're amazing, you are great for getting on every morning or listening to the recording every day. I'm telling you right now, this is one of my favorite phrases. I'm telling you right now, I have received so many amazing questions, and it has humbled me. They have blessed me, and they are going to enrich all of our lives. It really has made me think. And what it's made me think of is how fortunate we are to be able to be pulling together as a tribe, as a community. And really, you know what? Gems is gems. You are my gems. You are my gems because we know that playing bigger is the answer to our ailments. We have to be playing and collaborating with other people. And what I hope we all realize is that no matter where we are in our growth and development, no matter what level we are on, no matter how much success or failure that we've already experienced, and remember this, the more successful you are, the more failure you have experienced, okay? If I told you how many failures that I've experienced, you would say, wow, because that's how you succeed. You try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try, you fail. You fall, you get up, you fall, you get up, you fall, you get up, and you just keep going and you never stop. But you learn something every time. You meet someone that's going to help you get better every time. You just keep failing forward. But I'm also so happy for all the people that have listened to the recording. You know, I know 9:30 Central is a hard time for a lot of people if you're working and the time zones are different. Sometimes people just can't get on, and I get that. That's one of the reasons why we share the webinar recordings with the people that register. And it's also one of the reasons why when we're finished with our webinar series, we'll post it up on my website, jensjohnson.com, because we know everybody has a crazy busy life. We know there's so many people that are striving, that are searching, that are looking, that are thirsting for wisdom and for knowledge and for ideas and for people to connect with to help make their lives better. So we want to make this accessible to everybody. And remember, every month we're going to be doing some free online webinar series. Every month we're going to be striving to get closer to our goals. But I just want to commend everyone that has been here every day, that has participated, that has shared with your friends and with your loved ones, and who are actively pursuing playing bigger. So we're going to jump right into it, all right? Now, remember our two mantras, playing bigger, and what playing bigger means? It means you're not playing in the sandbox alone. If you want to have real success, if you want to reimagine your life and then recreate your life, if you want to have sincere happiness, you can't play in the sandbox by yourself. So make the decision today that no more. No more. You're not going to play in the sandbox anymore alone. You're not. You're going to play bigger, and you're going to play with other people, and you're going to collaborate, and you're going to think of ideas. You're going to plan, do, and review. You're going to think of ideas and plan them. You're going to do those ideas with other people. You're going to collaborate with other people. And then after you've executed and you do them, you're going to evaluate. You're going to evaluate what you learned. You're going to evaluate what you could do better. You're going to evaluate what you liked. You're going to evaluate what you didn't like. And you're going to keep doing that with people. You also are going to continue to come ready to receive so you can leave ready to achieve. Now, my hope for you and for everyone, is that once you receive this information, you don't just walk away, but that you actually put it into action. You do one thing, you do two things, you do three things, and that's going to be our homework until we meet again, till our next webinar. Now, those of you who want to play with me more substantially, let me know, and we'll continue to work on this as well. But we want at least one or two things that you're going to do on a daily basis to improve. So you decide what are those things going to be, and I'm going to talk more in depth about that after we answer these amazing questions. All right, so our theme for this week, master the winning mindset. Step number one in mastering the winning mindset is decide to win. The 10 reasons why people don't make decisions and what to do about is what we've discussed. And what I love about the questions that I've received that we're going to go over and answer is that it allows me the opportunity to know where people are. And I vitally need that. I vitally need that feedback from you, because I don't know where you are. What we do in our lives is we operate in our lives at the growth and development that we are. And sometimes, most of the time, it's hard for us to understand where somebody else's mindset is, because you're not in that mindset. Your mindset is different from somebody else's mindset. What will start to happen as you continue to grow and develop, you'll start to hang out with other people that have your same mindset. That's your goal. You'll start to find people that have a more developed mindset, and then you start hanging out with them, and then your mindset grows and develops. But these questions have really shown me where your mindset is. And your mindset is probably very similar to other people's mindset, and it's important. So I'm going to go over some of these questions, and I hope, and I'm going to just finish all of them. That's all there is to it. Number one, how do I shake off the fear of change? So that's an amazing question, because a lot of people have that. How do I shake off the fear of change? Well, the first thing I would want to know, if I was talking to this person one-on-one, is I would want more information, because I would need more information to better understand this situation. But what I would start off with asking is, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of the change? Are you afraid of failing? Are you afraid of the unknown? Are you afraid of what people think? And as I start to go back and forth and ask these questions, and I listen to how people answer them, I will start to identify what that person is afraid of. But remember this, making decisions is a skill. All right, write that down. Making decisions is a skill. Don't worry if the decision is a good one or a bad one. Don't worry if the decision, if you think it's wrong or right. Don't think, is this the right decision? Don't think that. Don't think that. Just take that out of your brain. Take good and bad and right and wrong regarding decisions out of your brain, all right? Making decisions is a skill. The more decisions you make, the better you get at making decisions. The more decisions you make, the more confidence you're going to have in your life, not just on making decisions, but upon everything. And the more decisions that you make, the more you realize that there really isn't anything to fear but fear itself. The only thing you should fear is fear itself, because you're going to learn something. You are always going to learn something, all right? So what if I told you right now, let me preface this by saying you don't know how to play the piano, okay? Preface that. You don't know how to play the piano. Well, what if I told you that you had to play in a piano recital in front of 500 people? Well, what would you do? Well, you would probably say, I'm not going to play in a piano recital in front of 500 people because I don't know how to play the piano. And what if I told you you are? You have to. You have to play in a piano recital in front of 500 people. You have no choice. Well, what would start to happen to you? You immediately would start to get scared, most likely. You would immediately start to have anxiety, all that fear, because I've asked you and basically told you you're going to do something where you have no skills. But then I say to you, I'm going to pay for your piano lessons, and the recital is 6 months away. Now, that might make you feel a little bit better because I'm going to prepare you. And I tell you, it doesn't matter what the song is, but you still are going to doubt. Well, gosh, I feel a little bit better, but I'm still scared because it's something you don't want to do. It's out of your comfort zone. But you start to take piano lessons and you start to get better. You're still not great, but you learn a song within that 6 months that you can play in front of those 500 people at that piano recital. You're still not looking forward to it. You're still scared. You still have some anxiety, but now you've got some skills and you're a little bit more prepared. So you're not as scared as you were before at the very beginning, but you're not happy about it. You're out of your comfort zone. Now, then, what if I told you right before you went on stage that all the people in the audience are deaf? Not one person that's going to be listening to you can even hear you playing the piano. Now, what would that do? Well, that would make you feel a little bit better. It would make you feel a little bit better because you're like, well, gosh, if I make a mistake, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know because they can't hear. Now, what if I told you the next thing was the 500 people that are going to be in the audience are deaf kids from the ages of 2 to 5? Well, now you're probably feeling even more better because you're like, they're kids 2 to 5, they're deaf. Man, this is easy. Your whole outlook has changed. Your confidence has changed. Your fear is basically gone away. Yet all the facts are still exactly the same. I told you you had to play in a piano recital in 6 months and you didn't know how to play the piano. I told you it was going to be in front of 500 people. You took the lessons, you learned a song to play, you had prepared, and you still are playing in front of 500 people. But your fear, your mindset, and what you're thinking has totally changed. Because that's what fear is. Fear isn't real. Fear is actually our irrational thoughts that we make up in our head that's not true. So, what you have to realize is the only thing to fear is fear itself. So, in this specific situation of how do I shake off fear of change? Well, first of all, I would ask myself, what exactly am I afraid of? Then the second thing that I would do is I would write all of that down. Remember, writing facilitates clarity. We need to be clear. The one reason why personal development, growth and development is so important is because it helps us begin to become clear. Sharing that story with you right now helps you become clear of how made up fear is. and what fear does to your thinking and what fear does to your mind and how fear is the number one enemy of success. So you need to write down what you are afraid of in a situation. Then read. Read about how to overcome fear. Because believe me, there are a ton of books on how to overcome fear. And then number 4, surround yourself with people that have mastered that. They have mastered overcoming fear, and you stick to them like a stamp. Stick to them like a stamp, because you are the sum of the 5 people you associate with the most. All right, number 2. What if I try something? What if I fail at a new project? What if I fail at doing something? Well, let me tell you something really big. All right, this is really, really big. If you are failing, it means you are trying. 95% of the people in the world drift through life doing the same things in their comfort zone, trying to pull other people down, and they don't fail because they don't try. Let me tell you what, if you're not failing, you're not trying. If you're not failing, you're not moving ahead. If you're not failing, you're never going to succeed. You're just never going to succeed. You can't stay static in life and succeed. It just doesn't happen. The only way you succeed is in action. So we're going to go back to that fear. Don't be afraid to fail. Expect it. You are going to fail sometimes, but 100% of the time, you're going to learn. So when you try something new, there is a percentage that you're going to win big. There's a percentage that you're going to fail. But here is the absolute 100% of the time that you try, you will learn something new. All right. So when you try something new, a percentage you're going to win and succeed, a percentage you're going to fall and fail. But 100% of the time, when you try something new, you are going to learn. You're going to learn something. So why would you not try? Why would you not try? You're going to learn someone, you're going to meet someone. See, this is what's called temporary defeat. Temporary defeat is you try something, you temporarily fail, you learn something. You try it again, you get better, maybe you fail a little bit again, you learn something else. You keep going, you keep going. Nothing can hold you back but you have to learn. Just like the piano example, you have to practice. You have to learn. Now, if this is a project at work, number 1, you have to know what's expected of you. And you just ask, what do you expect that I'm going to do or learn? What do you want from me? See, it's really important that we learn communication skills. Don't be afraid to say, I'm not 100% clear on what you expect from me because I want to deliver what you expect. So get clear what they expect. And if you don't have the skills yet, then you communicate that. You know, I would feel more comfortable if I had additional skills. Maybe there's someone there at the workplace that can help you, train you, or maybe there is a training course online or you can attend live. But remember, there's nothing you can't learn to do. It's, do you want to learn it? But in a work setting, always find out what people expect from you. You got to be clear, because to deliver results, you need to be clear on what people expect. All right, question number 3. What if I try something and the end result isn't what I expected? And at the end, it doesn't work. Well, you learned something. You learned that what you just did didn't give you the result that you expected. And it's just that simple. You learn. Shift your mindset to, in life, how much can I learn? How much can I grow? How much can I develop? And realize that failing is really learning. Write failing really big on a piece of paper, scratch it out, and write learning real big, even bigger, bigger. Write learning bigger than failing, and X out failing, and realize it's learning. You're not failing, you are learning. Just if that's the one thing that you take away from this series, oh my goodness, your whole life is going to be different from this point forward. That's amazing. Cross out failing. You're not failing, you're learning. Now, I like this question. It says, how do I build a bridge from knowledge to action? I know the things that I need to do, but I'm not doing them consistently. And sometimes, and some things I'm just afraid to do. Well, when I read that question, of course, what computes in my brain is, how do I move into action? How do I become consistent and do the things I know I'm supposed to do and do the things that I'm afraid to do? Well, because of the last part of that question, when somebody tells me I'm afraid, my first response to that person is going to be, you have to be working with someone. You need training wheels. You need training wheels. If you've been trying something on your own unsuccessfully, realize this, you're not playing bigger. All right? You can't have massive, big success playing alone. You can't do it. So the first thing I would say to this person is, you need training wheels. Who are your training wheels going to be? Are your training wheels going to be a coach? Is it going to be a workout accountability partner? Is it going to be a friend who has mastered what you are attempting to do? You know, what is it going to be? But you're not playing bigger. You've got to be with someone. You know, if you've tried to lose weight for 10 years on your own and you keep doing the same things, you're not going to lose weight. If you've been trying to be successful in something for 3 years on your own and you can't do it, you're not going to be able to do it by yourself. You're playing small. Quit playing small. If you want to succeed, you've got to play big. All right, so your training wheels. And when, you know, if I was going to teach a little 6-year-old to ride a bike, and I told that 6-year-old to get on a 10 speed and go take off and ride the bike, would that 6-year-old be able to do it? 99.9% no. But if I had training wheels on that bike, or if I held the back of the bike and I pushed the 6-year-old on the bike, and I kept doing that, and I kept doing that, and I kept doing that, and they kept practicing, and they kept practicing, and they kept practicing. They learned the skill, the balance, so forth. They're gaining confidence. Pretty soon, that 6-year-old is going to learn to ride the bike by themselves. That never changes. That concept in life never changes. If you want to learn something, if you want to do something, if you want to master something, and you're unable to do it by yourself, go find somebody and that knows how to do it and have them help you. That's playing bigger. Remember this, when you value yourself, you will invest in yourself. Write that down. When you value yourself, you will invest in yourself. And when you invest in yourself, you are going to have to invest time. You are going to have to invest money. You are going to have to give something up. You're just going to have to. There's no ands, ifs, and buts about it. But you can do it. When you don't value yourself is when you won't invest in yourself. It's a sign. Remember how we said in 2017, we're going to talk a lot about signs? It's a sign of where you are. Will you invest money in yourself to grow? Yes, you value yourself. No, you need work on your own self-worth. It just is what it is. Will you invest the time? Yes, you value yourself. If you don't, you need work on your self-worth. It just is what it is. Don't beat yourself up where you are. Just identify that's where you are. And if you want to change, make the decision to change. All right, this question I love. All right, this question is, how do I move forward in life without feeling guilty when my kids and spouse don't want me to? You know how common that is for women? You know how common it is for women that their spouse and their kids don't want them to move forward. Now, why? Well, first and foremost, because as women, we really are the center of the home. As women, we are the center of our family's lives. We're stewards. We're the glue that holds everything together. And so here's what I say to you. Know and understand that's always going to be the case. And as women, we have a huge responsibility. We have a huge responsibility to our families to be the example. Your spouse is going to try to pull you down. Your kids are going to try to pull you down. It's always very common. My husband, my first husband, tried to pull me down. It's one reason why I got divorced. My second husband has tried to pull me down. It's one reason why we almost got divorced. And until I stood firm and convicted and said, you're not going to pull me down and you're not going to hold me back. It's the only, and I was serious because I had made the decision. I was going to live the life of my dreams. That I made the decision that I was going to pursue my passion. I made the decision that nothing was going to stop me. Once I made that decision and my spouse and my kids saw the conviction, not just in my words and my looks, but in my actions, they knew they weren't going to be able to stop me. But realize you're the example. Most people don't like change, especially your family. They want you in your comfort zone. You've got a place in their mind and they want you in that place. But here's what you need to realize is your place as a woman in your family is to be the example. And when you don't stand firm, your example that you're portraying is not the right example for your kids. It's not the right example for your spouse. And we have to be strong. You know how crabs, if they're in a cage or a container, a cage, and one crab tries to climb out, you know what the other crabs do? They pull the crab down until they pull the crab apart and kill it. It's just a part of the life cycle. So what you have to realize is it's hard. But the bigger the decision, the harder the decision, for whatever reason, the bigger your reward will be. The bigger your own personal reward will be, the bigger the positive impact it will be on your family. Remember, you're not going to go from 0 to 100. You're going to go from 0 to 1, then 1 to 2, then 2 to 3, then 3 to 4, but you can't do it alone. If your spouse and your kids don't want you to do it and they're pulling you down, you have to find other people that are going to help you and be your support. Doesn't mean it's going to take time, but just know that the path that you're on is the right path. Now, I'm telling you, there are so many more questions that I have received. And what I'll do is on my Jens Johnson public figure page, I'll post that. I might post them some other places, but I really want everybody to know that the biggest thing that you can do for yourself right now after this is to sit down and decide. Decide what you're going to work on the next 30 some odd days until we get back on. Decide if you want to play bigger with me or with somebody else. Decide if you have a group that you can connect with. Make some decisions. Reimagine your life the way you want it. Reimagine what that life looks like. So you have the vision, write it down, decide what it is that you're going to do. And maybe it's one thing you're going to do every day, 2, 3 things, whatever. Maybe it's one personal thing. Maybe it's one business thing. Maybe it's one relationship item, whatever. But make some decisions, write them down, do them, track them. And then when we meet up again, and feel free to connect with me. You connect with me every day. You know how to get in touch with me. You get me on social media. You can get me on my webpage. You can get me on however you need to get with me. And let's do it together. I would love to have as many people at our Beauty, Brains, and Business event on April 29th. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm telling you, I'd love to have everybody at VIP. You're going to get $500 plus in free products and services, and plus you're going to leave in an amazing way. But more than anything at all, as I close up this webinar series, I want you to know this simple fact. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. You can. It's not maybe, it's not if, it's you can. It's just how long will it take you? How long it will take you is 100% determined on how much effort you decide to put in. That's all there is to it. You can do it. I love you. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're phenomenal. You're great. There's nothing you can't do. Until we meet again, be big, be bold, and most importantly, be you. Bye-bye, everybody. I love you so much. Thank you so much.